I think there's a recognition that they had been a little bit slow to address inflation. And I think right now it looks like the strategy could be to move more quickly at first so that they can see where they are and beat the worst of inflation right away. And I think that that actually makes sense. We've had consistent inflation. I believe it's going to be persistent as long as we have a supply chain that's dependent on goods from Asia, and Asia continues to be a region generally that has zero COVID policies. So as long as COVID, I think inflation and supply chain issues are as well. So I think it's just going to take time, and I think a more aggressive approach makes sense. But it's hard to say, right?
Yeah, Julie, I mean, talking about an aggressive Fed is what started the market going south, right? We're off to a pretty bleak start to the 2022 trading year, and most of the pain has been felt in the tech sector. Now that, the decibel levels are getting sort of screaming now, 100 basis points, et cetera, what happens to tech now? How do you feel about it?
I think tech is actually a collection of, a whole bunch of smaller sectors. You could think of it almost like a group in high school, right? So you have your Lucids and your EV companies. I would liken those to the cheerleaders, a lot of flash, no substance. You have the valedictorians who would be something like a Facebook. And now I think people are really wondering about regulation and the risk that those companies are going to face as really large, compelling companies. I really like the nerds. These are the mid, small cap tech names that are in vertical software. They serve a very specific niche. They could be banks, it could be insurance. And I think these are the types of businesses that are well positioned to avoid regulatory scrutiny. There's high barriers to entry. There's earnings. I mean, you can actually do a PE on them. And I think these are the businesses that are in good positions to do well, even if we tip all the way into a recession.